My name is Burgette White, and my current role is a senior HR business partner. I work at Kimberly-Clark Corporation. Right now I'm based in Atlanta, Georgia, and work supporting our international consumer goods business unit, which is Kimberly-Clark International.
Hi, my name is Hillary Bachniak, and I'm a managing director with Accenture. Specifically, I'm the senior HR business partner for our financial services business. I've been with the company for 19 years, having started in client consulting and then moved into HR pretty early in my career, and I've now had over 15 years experience working in our global HR organization. I think that the best way to gain credibility with business leaders when you are an HR business partner, I think there are a couple of different channels. I think one, you've got to know the facts. You have to be able to credibly articulate your understanding of the business issues and challenges that those business leaders are facing. I think it's incredibly important to have strong relationships with the other functions, finance, for example, legal, marketing, communications, so that again, you have that big picture, not just the HR silo coming into it. And then I think, as in so many jobs, it's a lot about relationship development and relationship management. Taking the time to get to know those business leaders and making sure that they have the opportunity to get to know you as well and can see you as someone who can contribute on many different levels rather than just a process executor.
In order to be credible and successful, it's important for an HR business partner to understand their business and their industry, understanding what the drivers are for success in that industry, what are some inhibitors that the company may be facing, doing a SWOT analysis, and that really does help. SWOT meaning strength, weakness, opportunity, threat, but truly that does help the HR partner to understand what that leader is facing. What are some of the challenges that they're working through and how you can provide support to that. For me to gain credibility with business leaders, I take a couple different approaches. One is to really understand and learn their business. It's important to ask questions, not only from an HR perspective and people management, but also understanding what are your business drivers, what is working well for you in your industry, what's keeping you up at night, and then taking that information and helping to provide solutions from a people perspective that help to meet some of those challenges.
When I think about the evolution of HR becoming more strategic, the first thing I think of actually is that I'm very grateful, because I feel that's something that Accenture has been very focused on for a long time. I've spent my whole career with Accenture, but talking to colleagues who have come to HR at Accenture from outside, one of the things that is frequently called out is the fact that HR is absolutely at the table with the business leaders, and we have been for the history of my time in the practice, which I think is very differentiating. When we think about the strategic nature of HR, though, I think it's being able to step back out of the processes and understand how the outcomes that are intended from each of the HR process areas that we think about, whether it's rewards or performance management or capability development, how the key things that happen in each of those spaces come together and provide the outcome that you're looking for the business.
When I'm making a business case for a change or doing anything different, I found that leaders most quickly respond to and feel comfortable with data. So making sure that there's numbers or some quantitative information that helps to support your rationale, and also that it has strategic alignment. So making sure that it truly does reinforce or help bring along the team to whatever the strategic goal might be. And that's truly because that's the language that they understand. That's the language in which they work with on a regular basis. So aligning yourself and your thoughts to that way of thinking truly does help to make sure that they are understanding of what you're trying to say and share, and also more receptive to that business case.
Oh boy, so I think the question of the financial knowledge that's important for an HR business partner is really, really significant. And it will vary, of course, somewhat by the type of organization that you're a part of. If you are a small partnership, for example, versus a large public company, the dynamic is very different. In my case, I am part of a large public company, and so maximizing shareholder value is everything. And your ability to understand how the levers and the things that HR does absolutely contribute to the bottom line in terms of maximizing revenue growth, and the way that we manage our costs in terms of the impact that those have on profitability are really key. And so I think it's understanding the larger picture for the organization in terms of how sales and revenue come together and ultimately generate profit, but also understanding how HR specifically comes into play in terms of optimizing those different outcomes.
It is absolutely important to provide financial justification or basis when proposing a new HR initiative or a change in the way things are currently being done. My financial partner and myself work hand in hand on some of those matters because as a business leader, they want to do the right thing for the business. And part of that, a big part of that is what's the financial impact? What's our return on this investment? What are we expecting to see after we invest in this way? So it's important to have that information up front as part of your proposal or your analysis so that the business leader has all the information that they need in order to feel comfortable with the decisions or proposals that you are making.
We love data in our company, and we spend a lot of time looking and rolling around, as we say, in the numbers. Certainly in terms of supply and demand, because in our business, our people are our resources as we work in management consulting, technology, and outsourcing. So making sure that we have a very clear understanding of the volume of people we have, the skills associated with that volume of people, and then understanding the levers that you can pull to help manage that population and the outcomes that they are then delivered or that they're then positioned to deliver. We spend a lot of time talking about right people, right place, right time. And in order to hit those three things in the mark, you have to have a really good grasp of the facts, both in terms of who you have and in terms of what you need. So I would say a lot of those talent-driven metrics around not only capacity and volume, but also quality and flavor are where we spend the majority of our time.
The analytics that I use most in my role as an HR business partner and being strategic is around talent management. So looking at our resource allocation and specifically how are we allocating our talent, what are our critical roles that we've identified with our business leaders, and are those critical roles staffed with our top candidates or talent that can be most effective and meeting those business results and delivering what is being expected of them. Those are some of the things that I look at more deeply, and that's to me one of our more important metrics, but then also looking at the metrics around self-service, making sure that our employees as well as our managers are utilizing the self-service functionality that we have in place within the company so that time is being well spent. And as an HR partner, I'm not spending all of my time changing an employee's address or doing a name change because we're empowering our employees to do that themselves. And that makes the best use of everyone's time.